Hello everyone, and welcome back to US Tax with Pavan. This is day 3 of our free 60-day course. In the last video, we learned about US states and time zones. Today, we are going to go one level deeper into something that can save you a lot of money. We will talk about tax-free states and also 2 hidden taxes that many people forget about, city tax and county tax. Here is the important thing to understand. In America, your income can be taxed at 3 different levels: federal tax, state tax, and sometimes even city or county tax. So today, you will learn which states charge zero income tax, which cities quietly take an extra cut, and how to make sure you are never surprised on your paycheck. Let us begin, nice and simple. Let us start with the good news, the 9 states that charge zero state income tax. These are Texas, Florida, Nevada, Washington, Wyoming, South Dakota, Alaska, Tennessee, and New Hampshire. In these states, you do not pay any state income tax on your salary. That means more money stays in your pocket every single month. For example, if you earn $100,000 in Texas, your state income tax is zero. Compare that to a high-tax state, and the difference can be thousands of dollars a year. This is exactly why so many people and companies are moving to these states. But remember, no state income tax does not always mean cheaper overall, because some of these states make up for it with higher sales tax or property tax. We will keep that in mind. Now, 9 states is a lot to remember, so let me give you a simple memory trick. Just remember the word FASTNW. Let me break it down for you. F is for Florida, A is for Alaska, S is for South Dakota, T is for Texas and Tennessee, N is for Nevada and New Hampshire, and W is for Washington and Wyoming. FASTNW. Say it a few times and it sticks. With this one little trick, you will always remember the 9 zero income tax states. Memory tricks like this make tax learning so much easier, and you will thank yourself later when you are comparing job offers or planning a move. Now let us talk about a special case, New Hampshire. New Hampshire is a little different from the others. For your salary, your normal wages, New Hampshire charges zero income tax, just like the others. But for many years, it did tax the money you earned from interest and dividends, things like savings account interest or stock dividends. The good news is that tax is being phased out completely, and by the year 2027, New Hampshire will be fully tax-free even on interest and dividends. So if you are an investor, this is great news. Just remember, New Hampshire is on the tax-free list, with this one small detail that is going away soon. Now here is something most beginners completely miss: city tax. Some cities charge their own income tax, on top of the state tax. Yes, you heard that right, an extra tax just for living or working in that city. The most famous example is New York City. If you live in New York City, you pay New York state tax and a city tax of up to about 3.8% extra. Philadelphia charges around 3.79%. Cities like Detroit and Columbus also have their own city taxes. So imagine this. You take a great job in New York City, but between federal, state, and city tax, a big chunk of your salary is gone. This is why you must always check the city tax before accepting a job in a big city. Along with city tax, there is also county tax. A county is like a smaller region inside a state. And in some states, individual counties charge their own income tax too. For example, in Indiana, every single county has its own tax rate, ranging from about 0.5% to over 3%. Maryland is another big one, where counties charge between roughly 2 and 3%. Kentucky, especially the Louisville area, also has local taxes. Now, you do not need to memorize every county rate. The key lesson is simple. Before you move somewhere or take a job, look up not just the state tax, but also the city and county tax for that exact location, because these small percentages add up to real money. Let us make this real with our favorite comparison, Texas versus California, looking at state tax only. Say you earn $100,000 a year. In Texas, your state income tax is $0. You keep everything. In California, on that same $100,000, you pay around $9,300 in state income tax every single year. Now multiply that over 10 years. That is roughly $93,000 difference just from the state you chose to live in. That is a huge amount of money, enough for a car, a down payment, or your child's education. This is the power of understanding state taxes. Same salary, same job, but a very different bank balance. Now, I have to share one very important reminder, so you are not confused. Living in a zero-income tax state does not mean you pay no tax at all. You still have to pay federal income tax. Federal tax goes to the national government, and every single American pays it, no matter which state they live in. So in a state like Texas or Florida, you skip the state income tax, which is great, but federal tax still applies on your income. Think of it this way. Federal tax is for the whole country, state tax is for your state, and city or county tax is for your local area. Zero tax states simply remove that middle, state layer. Always keep this picture clear in your mind. Let us take a calm look back and review everything from today. Point 1. 9 states charge zero state income tax. Remember the trick, FASTNW. Point 2. New Hampshire is special. It is tax-free on wages and will be fully tax-free by 2027. Point 3. Some cities, like New York City and Philadelphia, charge an extra city income tax on top of state tax. Point 4. Some counties, especially in Indiana, Maryland, and Kentucky, charge their own local tax. Point 5. Texas versus California shows how the state choice alone can mean $90,000 over 10 years. And point 6, the most important one. Even in zero tax states, you still pay federal tax. If you remember these 6 points, you truly understand how location affects your money. Now let us finish with a quick quiz to lock in what you learned today. Take a moment to think before I give the answer. Question 1. How many states have zero state income tax? The answer is 9. Question 2. What is the memory trick to remember them? The answer is FASTNW. Question 3. Which famous city charges an extra city income tax on top of state tax? The answer is New York City. And question 4. True or false? If you live in a zero income tax state, you pay no tax at all? The answer is false, because you still pay federal tax. If you got these right, you are doing great. That is the end of day 3. If this helped you, please subscribe to support the channel, and I will see you in day 4. Take care, and keep learning.